Oh, very on stream. Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to Delve Requisite here on Proficiency Bonus. Before we get started, I want to give a thank you to our sponsors, Little Dragon Corp and Cardboard Castle Games, for sponsoring Proficiency Bonus. You can type exclamation Little Dragon or exclamation point CCG into chat at any point during tonight's stream to get a link to them websites where you can check out those fine sponsors. If you buy anything from Little Dragon Corp, purveyors of fantastic polyhedral tabletop dice, you can use our code bonus at checkout to get 10% off of your order. So please check them out. Thank you, Little Dragon Corp and Cardboard Castle Games. How's everybody? We still, I say this, I've been saying this for 3 weeks. We need to come up with like an intro bit, and then I don't think about it until I finish talking about the sponsors, and then I go, oh shit, I didn't think about what thing we're gonna do.
This whole time though, we just
we need like a fun, D&D fact of the week. Quick, somebody think of a fun D&D fact.
Okay, hold on.
Beholders don't have buttholes.
Beholders don't have buttholes. That's a good one. D&D fun fact. D&D started as an after effect to Chainmail, as an earlier game created by Gygax.
One more time?
There you go. Here, let's do another one. I had a list of fun facts here. You threw me off. I don't know, man. It's gone now. Never mind.
Well, what are you gonna do? Let's recap.
What you pay for, everybody.
You get what you pay for, which is nothing, and what you've received is nothing.
Nothing.
I feel like we owe you, honestly. You can get 10%, you can 15% off your order. Got a little Dragon Corp as an apology. Enter the promo code We're Sorry for $5 off.
I'll give you $5. That's fine.
Okay, let's hit the recap. So, if you guys will remember, you are on a mission to the capital of the evil Ignian Empire. Right here behind my head on stream, the capital city of Shivas Invaria, where you are attempting to relinquish from the Emperor's possession an ancient Arcanotech piece of equipment that the Brotherhood of Artanis has been using to look back in time and stay essentially one step ahead of the curve on the rest of the kingdoms in bringing this nefarious plot for world apocalypse to fruition. The key to learning all of the things that they know and that they have seen is to get your hands on this device and look at all of these visions of the past that have informed the Brotherhood's machinations. You have been given some intel by a former general of the Brotherhood who you freed from the Estelgath on where it could be found inside a portion of the Empire's palace complex in Shivas Invaria, a portion of the palace complex known as the High Octoritas, sort of their state building. You've been given general information about the structure itself, in that there are anti-magic fields within several portions of the building intended to prevent intrusions from outsiders or calamitous accidents. Well, Adam's turned into an eye with a big strike through it.
Hold on.
Sorry.
I was adjusting something, and of course it broke something.
Adam's been a beholder this whole time.
Yep.
You've also been told that it is not uncommon for the Empire to keep other valuable items, historical relics, magical artifacts, things that they consider to be of high value to the Empire in the High Octoritas, in the vaults beneath it. And you've been essentially given the, like, wink wink, nudge nudge, if some of that shit were to go missing, maybe it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. You are making your way to Shivas Invaria from all the way down below me, where you can't see on stream here, in the Honorandin capital city of Zresa, where the speaker for the Free Peoples is opening a path through the Verdant Wild, a mysterious place between places that allows you to cover vast distances by traversing through this sort of nether realm that ties everything together. She has opened this passageway for you, and we left last session with you guys walking in between these gnarled tree roots into this dark, seemingly endless tunnel, and the tree roots closing behind you. First things first, I'd like everybody to make a perception check.
Damn!
Kicking it off with some dice, keeping everybody on their toes. We'll have none of this 25 minutes into the episode and, oh shit, I forgot to get my dice out bullshit.
Yeah!
Rolled a 2.
God damn it, the 3 you mother...
Making it a 4.
Gotta get him out of the way early.
Look, I don't know what
Okay,
to add.
well, I'm glad that I counterbalance. I rolled a 29.
Okay.
Yeah, I
It's
don't...
perception, right? Perception? 19.
Perception. 19?
Yeah, I don't
19.
even know what... I don't even know what to add to it. It's a 3 and some small ass numbers. Go ahead with what
Okay.
you're doing.
Oz, we love you.
Yeah,
What?
I love you too.
What you guys find as you enter into this this passageway, you find yourself walking along what feels beneath your boots like a mossy forest path. There's a slight give to the ground beneath you. You smell this sort of earthy, musty, damp scent that reminds you very much of walking through a forest in like late autumn, and the kind of the smell of the leaves beginning to like mulch and decay on the ground. At first, you can't really see anything, but as your eyes adjust to the darkness, you find that you are walking down a path in what appears to be a very dense, wooded forest. The group of you have been forewarned not to stray from the path. As you begin to walk, Brahm and Ozrius, you guys just, you kind of follow the path. You're keeping your eyes ahead. Rowan and Alar, you guys begin to get like the distinct sense of being watched.
Oh.
Somewhere beyond the periphery of your vision in this windy, narrow forest path that you walk down.
Elvish, very quietly to Alar. You feel that, right?
Yep.
I keep walking like I feel nothing.
Okay.
But my hand is on Shikai.
Alar had drawn his rapier before walking in. He's gripping a little bit tighter, and through a body language of Thieves Cant, he's trying to clue Brahm in on that. Walking as if he's entering, a dangerous alleyway.
A quick reminder for my party members and for my DM, since we leveled up, because I don't trust this damn place that you thrown us into. Everyone within 10 feet of me has Aura of Courage, so they can't be frightened, and resistance to damage from spells. So anything that's coming at us, and also +3 on saving throws. So just a reminder to everybody. Whatever the hell's about to happen, I don't like this. I don't trust Matt. He's devious. Let's just remember that as we move forward.
I don't know why you would say that.
Yeah, sure, sir.
Look at me shifty.
Yep.
Okay. You guys continue to walk for a while. It very quickly becomes disorienting in this place. You find that like you have started to kind of have trouble counting steps. Like, have I been walking for... Has it been 5 minutes? Has it been 10 minutes? It's... You kind of like come back to your senses and realize like, oh, I was like kind of just like daydreaming, like one foot in front of the other. I find that, you know, you try as you might to stay alert, you start to find that like you seem to have like kind of gaps in like your alertness. You begin to hear the distant sound of what you gauge to be like rushing water. It's a very like kind of that low rumble of like an enormous quantity of water all like rolling in one direction. The path ahead of you continues to look sort of grim and bleak and monochromatic, colorless. But you see in the distance, kind of out an indeterminate length of distance away from you, you see what, you know, at first almost looks like the light at the end of the tunnel. But as you kind of like begin to walk towards it and can you get closer, you see that it's more like a patch of like the landscape where this bleak, bleached colorlessness that you like walk through, that you found in this place, this dead-end Verdant Wild that you've been in, starts to give way to like vibrancy and color again. You find yourself after another, you gauge to be few minutes, or perhaps a half an hour of walking, you find yourselves on the precipice of a fairly steep cliff. And there are two paths that you can take from where you are. You can go to the left, you can go to the right. What you see as you look out above the cliff is you are looking over like a large rolling hilly terrain, lush with snow-capped, rocky, like topped mountains, and steep sloping, wildflower-covered dells that channel all of this snow melt and this water down towards this kind of central area. You see there's a beautiful, verdant, lush, lively valley stretched out before you with a number of waterfalls, all coming together to feed into a central like tributary that rolls off into the distance. All of this is very much intact. I don't think any of you, certainly not you guys, and Rowan, I don't think you didn't really witness the Verdant Wild previously. You were sort of...
I was told about it.
This strikes you as like, you remember being told of like this lush, vibrant, untouched version of the island that you guys had been on, and like the encroaching darkness, and this reminds you very much of that. Like you think you are upon maybe a mile radius patch of the Verdant Wild that still yet lives. The paths before you, one seems to be a winding switchback trail that leads down this slope into the bottom of the valley that allows you to approach this. There is very steep, like almost crumbly looking rocky paths. The other looks to be, you think, a more gentle slope, but there are more of those like large, dark, and gnarled trees. So one path is visibly looks to be more precarious. The other path looks like it is the terrain is probably safer, but there is more of an element of unknown as you see these like looming trees that could hide anything. That sense of being watched kind of like tingles at the back of your necks again as you stand here faced with these two paths that you can take.
You know what? Can I?
Quick question for the DM. That with the monochromatic path that we traveled, was it very much like the world of the Estelgath?
Yes. So what you passed through from where you left the Chamber of the Long Memory in Zresa, this like path along the Verdant Wild that you took to get here was like where the Estelgath was, and like the path that you took to get out of there was what you take to be like you have traveled some distance through a dead portion of the Verdant Wild to arrive here. And you'll remember Zarala did tell you that though she doesn't know what the source is, there is something in or near Shivas Invaria that is like sustaining the Verdant Wild in that area.
Oz, what were you saying?
I don't know anymore.
I'm sorry, man.
No. Everybody, somebody else.
Nah. Dead path means more of those things that we fought in the Estelgath, probably. Or worse. I don't like those switchbacks, but you know, I've done rock climbing. I think
To clarify, the switchback part is also still in this like deadened part. It's not until you get down off of one of these paths into the valley that like
okay,
color returns.
All right, that changes the equation a little bit.
Rock climbing, never heard of anybody.
You just said that the one on the right is a bit more like gnarled trees, and the other one is more rocky. Yeah. Is that the difference?
one is rocky switchbacks that look a little crumbly and unstable. The other one looks less steep, but is not as like open. You can't see what's around you because there's trees.
So exposed and potentially dangerous ground, or potentially safer ground, but we don't know what's hiding in the trees. Brom, Oz, opinions, preferences? I don't have a preference.
Never had a problem with climbing, but
I'll be okay.
All right. Well, if we're going rock climbing, Aylar reaches in his pack. We're gonna need rope.
I still have my
All right. All right. Everybody tie off because one of these things crumbles. I don't feel like trying to dive after somebody, especially since I can't fly.
As Aylar says that, Rowan takes a minute to think, and how long does it take?
I mean, I can make some of us fly.
Save that for. Well, we're gonna need every spell that we can get when we get to Shivas Invaria. So let's.
Yeah, I'm saving this in case.
Let's save let's save the magic for when we really, really need it.
Yeah, I want to save that first.
Besides, like I said, we got rope.
I think we'll be okay. Rope.
yeah.
Alright, so you guys are going to take the climbing path. Alrighty. You guys head away from the trees and towards the path that looks to be available for you to try and climb down. While more precarious it is at least open, giving you a clear view of anything approaching you from any direction as you make your way down. As you reach the top of this path, everybody can go ahead and give me an athletics check.
Oh.
Oh boy. Oh, thank God.
Do these like paths and whatnot give like Osrius like a sense of like familiarity, but like also a sense of just, I don't know, like familiar but like not familiar? Like
Feels
if
like
these
home.
are of like the wilds, like yeah, to a certain degree.
Yeah,
like,
I think
that is
I think this terrain is
24.
certainly 24. Okay, I think this terrain is certainly something that you would be. Oh, hang on. I just did the wrong thing for something I was messing with.
just
Broke
say
it.
I broke my headphones for everybody on the stream and myself. This is,
Metzel.
it's fixed now. Turns.
Yes. Or
Okay.
settings.
what a weedy.
What a weenie.
Oh God.
What?
You sounded a
You
little.
sound like a robot now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, you do.
is this any better?
Nope.
No.
Oh man.
You broke it.
Arguably worse.
Well, I guess we're not doing that tonight.
Nope.
Okay.
See what happens when the barbarian asks questions in the party?
I'll tell you.
breaks-
I'll tell
breaks
you
the
in a
whole
minute what
damn
I was
thing.
doing and why. It
No,
failed.
you're fine. Just D&D
Osrius,
hates barbarians.
You do feel at home somewhat on this this journey here. Like there are certainly portions of this this trail that you guys can walk. It is very steep, and there are portions where like walking doesn't really become an option, and it becomes more like clambering down loose pieces of rock. You lived in a place very much like this for much of your life.
Is this like a part where like the cold like kind of catches in like a little bit? Like did you say there's like ice caps like a little bit like here and whatnot?
A little bit. You guys are lower in elevation
Okay.
than having to worry so much about like snow and ice melt and stuff like that.
Okay.
There's like it's where you are, at least it's very like kind of like deadened and lifeless looking, but you see there's like
Okay.
clumps of like lichen and moss kind of like between the crevices of the rock. You're sort of in that kind of like zone between like the cold upper peaks of like hills and mountains and like the lush forest, the lush like valley below. So there's a lot of like very scrubby stubborn little volunteer plants that are clinging to the crevices between these rocks wherever they can find purchase.
Okay.
So you find yourself pretty quickly, I think, outstripping the others as you guys like make your way down here. Just naturally, like you find every couple of minutes you look and you realize like, oh, I'm like 50 feet ahead of these guys. How did the rest of you do with your? You got an 18?
Is he that far ahead of me?
23.
23?
17.
17, yeah. So nobody is struggling. Like, you guys are all doing very well. Nobody is, like, falling, slipping, or whatever. But, you guys are skilled and cautious as you like, descend the mountain. As you watch Osrius, you realize, like, he was born to this type of environment. He is able to, like, move through this terrain in a way that, like, comes only from
merely adopted the mountain.
you merely adopted the side of this mountain. Osrius was born to it.
Only bad. I didn't see a hill till I was already a man.
I am what they call the mountain. I am the mountain in this place.
Osrius, as you kind of like take a break for a minute, you sit on like a larger, flatter piece of rock to let the others catch up for a couple minutes. They're maybe 50 feet further up behind you. A like of a little like pebble sort of like rolls past you and catches your attention. As you turn, you look, you see that you're not alone on this rock. There is a singular, all black, save for its luminous purple eyes, cat sitting next to you.
Oh.
And you,
Okay.
you have seen the last time you saw this. Well, there was more of them the last time you saw this, but this creature appeared not that long ago, when you guys were escaping the Verdant Wild the first time. This is
We're gonna have to solve another murder mystery.
This is the Grimalkin. And
Grimalkin.
it looks at you and kind of like licks a paw and flattens down an ear. And it says in a voice that is not voice modded because voice mod broke my microphone immediately. But it says in that same like multiplicitous voice that sounds like half a dozen voices all speaking at once. It says, your group has greatly lived up to their end of the bargain. Your escape from this dreadful domain, the human and the gnome, the decades that they spent in this place, only to have hope snatched from them at the last moment. It is tragic. It sustains me greatly.
You're trying, though. You know, I think that's all we can ever do is try. Just like climbing up the side of this mountain, no?
Of course. That's all I could ask of you. That is what I need. Drama follows you wherever you go. I am quickly becoming in your debt, the lot of you.
I would say at this
We're
point,
good.
Yeah, the rest of you guys catch up. Like you guys catch up to this plateau, and you see Osrius like having a conversation with like one aspect of the Grimalkin here.
The fuck is that thing?
Oh, Rowan hasn't met the Grimalkin yet.
he just comes up here.
Rowan, that's the Grimalkin. Catch up.
It like looks at you and it says.
I look at Braun like I'm about to smack him off the side of this goddamn cliff.
He goes. This one's different.
Hello.
Greetings. I am the last Grimalkin. I am contracted with this group. Are you traveling with them?
They're pretty cool.
I am.
Oh, good.
Don't worry about it.
I look at Alar. Now, what am I involved in?
They're a little cryptic.
This being came from here. Yes? This is the world that you lived in?
It turns its head and like kind of nods in the direction of like the vibrant, beautiful, lively portion of the Verdant Wild that you see with the rushing waterfalls in the valley. It says, I remember a time when all of the Verdant Wild looked like that. Alas, this is one of an increasingly dwindling number of places of its like left in this world. Most of my home is like that, and he gestures where you came from.
So, the beings of this world, some have stayed, others have come into our world, and to continue to survive, they will draw upon aspects or powers or even the life force of others. The Grimalkin draws upon the energy of drama to sustain it. We encountered them on the way back to Terra Libra. They had inhabited a broken down old bar, and any travelers caught within, they would subject to various stories. The one we were involved in was a whodunit murder mystery with multiple endings, no less.
Yeah.
It's the Grimalkin, and actually, as you guys are talking, like Rowan, like another black cat with purple eyes, like slinks around your leg and looks up at you and like begins to speak with that same multiplicitous voice, as it says, "I subside on emotional energy generated by mortal beings. Intrigue, happiness, sorrow, hope. These are like sustenance for me. They are a necessity. Says you are not with them, but your companions have seen what becomes of creatures like me, cut off from the sustenance that the Verdant Wild once naturally had in abundance."
Are there other creatures that appear different than you all do, that subsist on other things, like secrets?
Of course.
Rowan flashes back to Diamond's Dungeons and Delves with that bartender that we told secrets to,
Yes, that and
and
the
is immediately
bartender.
like right in the face. Just goes, oh,
Oh.
Okay, so you've encountered one of
something
these beings
similar.
before.
Don't know if it was a Grimalkin necessarily. Didn't quite tell us
I
what
dare
it was.
say it wasn't. I fear the last of my kind.
I don't feel like they're so bad.
They said that they were, I believe, the last of their kind as well, and they traded in secrets. And we all gave one. Seemed to like mine quite a bit, if I remember correctly.
But the Grimalkin also, as part of our pact, provided us a critical warning. Is that why you're here again, or are you?
It says, yes.
Oh, great.
And he says,
Thank you.
He
I like a
says,
warning.
he says, it won't do to have you all tumble off of a cliff face. That would be a meager meal, and then I wouldn't have you anymore. You've been being followed since you entered into the Verdant Wild.
You don't say.
Not another one of those larger creatures that we encountered.
No, fortunately for you, it is merely a lesser being. No smarter than a wild beast, but it is nearly upon you, following your scent. I dare say you will find that it is not intelligent enough to successfully navigate this treacherous descent. But it is also not intelligent enough not to try.
Oh, goody.
I recommend you hasten your pace to the bottom, lest you find yourself amidst a tumultuous rock slide.
Cool. I get up and I like
Your
wipe
wait,
off
your,
my hands.
your warning is most appreciated. All right, let's get back on the climb, folks.
Thanks a lot, Dimensional Kitty.
I
Yeah.
get ready to climb, and I really quick check my necklace again, and I look at Thixus first, and then Captain, and then Sela and Nimue.
Hey,
And then I
Brom, you
start climbing.
we start going down.
All right.
Brom, you coming?
The Grimalkin, the
Yeah.
few like aspects of it you had seen, like sort of like mountain goats, like they kind of like hop from rock to rock to rock, like kind of up away, like, and eventually like sort of slip into crevices and like disappear from your sight.
I like those
and
creatures.
a moment later, you hear a heavy footfall up above the precipice where you started from.
Oh, boy. Who is it
Great. All right, climb.
Alrighty,
Keep
make
going.
an athletics check.
Woo!
That's only a 13.
Okay.
Dirty 20.
now? 50.
That is. Oh God, I'm knocking over everything. That is 22.
22. Okay, Osrius and Rowan, you guys begin to quickly make your descent. You're kind of like picking out the most efficient, sturdiest path down. You make decent progress. You make it maybe about another third of the way down the descent here. Alar and Brahm, you guys are lagging a little bit behind them, and so you are closer when you, Alar, a like pebble like bounces off the top of your head, causing you to look up, and you see at the top of this steep switchbacked rocky path here, there is what in general form looks very much like a large elk or a moose or something. It's this sort of like hulking megafauna, quadrupedal megafauna with like a set of large antlers. The head you see has no no skin. There is this like frill of fungi and moss and lichen like around its neck, but the head itself is a bleached bone white skull, and there are two like blazing emerald green orbs in its hollow eye sockets that like look down at you. It like paws the ground like looking at you and sort of like takes a couple of false stuttering like experimental starts to like see which way it wants to go, and then makes a hop like down down a level like across one entire like trail of the switchback, landing on the one beneath, and begins to like pick its way towards you, and as it does, it's like dislodging like pieces of rock and earth, and like dirt and dust are like falling down on your heads.
Loud cursing and draconic.
Fair.
You guys have a choice to make here.
Yep.
I don't want this to drag on forever, so I'm basically going to make this like a three roll sort of thing. So then essentially we'll do like 3 rounds. Every round, you guys can will make like a check. You can choose to do so cautiously, normal, or recklessly. Cautiously, you will get to roll with advantage, but your progress will be slower. Normal, you just roll normal, and your progress is normal. Recklessly, you'll roll with disadvantage, but on successes, you will like descend faster. I will I will tell you, like, the penalty for failing a reckless like roll will be like some fall damage. A critical fail in like any capacity is like
Oh shit! How far are we from the ground?
you guys are probably still like 150 feet from the ground. So like,
All right. Well,
fall mechanics in D&D being what they are, probably not fatal mechanically speaking, but not great. What I will tell you is it is going to roll recklessly every turn, which increases its risk of plummeting to its doom, and taking damage on the way down, but like is almost surely guaranteed to have it like close on you guys. And we'll just call like each of the 3 rounds, like we'll see your successes, and like you can either make like 1, 2, or 3 increments of progress down, depending on if you roll cautiously, normal, or and then like essentially it'll overtake you or it won't.
Quick question.
Yep.
Would I have had the brain power or in all of the stuff Zarala would have taught us about coming in here? Is this the creatures in here? Are they like fiendish or fey, or like what do we know what they are?
Fey would be the like the most common nomenclature. They are creatures of fairy. They are creatures of folk stories and things like that.
Okay. And how far is it from us right now, you said?
It's just starting, so it's I'm gonna call it like three paces behind you guys. Which means depending on how rolls go, like it could theoretically catch up to you in 2 of the 3 rounds, based on what everybody chooses. So let's do round 1. Everybody make your roll. Tell me if it's cautiously, regular, or recklessly. I will make my roll for it.
This is still in athletics.
This is still in athletics.
Real quick.
Mark
what is your roll?
Oop, go ahead.
No, you go ahead first.
Mark is a 10.
Mark is a 10. What is your ruling on using winged boots during this?
If you can fly, just
do
you
it.
can negate this whole thing. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool. Because that's what I want to do and try to grab probably
Sure.
Adam's character on
Okay.
the way down if they would like, because I could pick up somebody, and if we could avoid 2 people not rolling compared to
Yeah, what's Brahms' athletics modifier?
4.
4.
Okay, mine's 0. So yeah.
You're 0. Okay.
I'm saying
So-
I'm also. I can expend 1 Bandor charge to make myself fly, and maybe I don't know that I could carry Rowan, but I could probably carry
don't leave me.
Walter.
Leave me, I'm fine.
That's the thing. Is
Good
Walter
treasure.
with us right now, still in this as
Yeah.
well? Okay.
Yeah.
Technically.
Yes.
So can I, if I use
Grab-
wing boots right now, can I pick up Alar and Walter to be
I
able to go all the
think
way down?
Walter's shovel is currently such
He
that
can
he can
put
use
the
it like a
broom.
broom of flying.
But
So
he
we'll
can
just
grab
say
Rom.
he does that, so you don't have to worry about him for this.
Okay.
Okay.
So
that negates a portion of us. I got
Literally,
Alar.
I mean, can't we just say that Walter grabs Brom if we wanted to?
I mean, that depends on if he can carry. Like, I know for myself,
I can use. I got
We don't
8
want- do we
charges
wanna
on the
use spells?
Bandor.
Oh,
I got
right,
8
so
charges on the
Bandor.
Bandor. It's a Bandor charge, not a spell slot. So
I mean, up to you. I didn't. I rolled
can
pretty
theoretically
well
make
I was
Rowan-
going to roll normally, so I was going to start scrambling.
I can
down, though.
theoretically make Rowan charge fly too, because I think we've stated in the past that like if I'm casting the same spell, I can like multicast it.
Yeah.
I've made us all invisible before.
Well, if you're gonna cast
So
a
if-
fly on yourself, could I jump on Walter's broom?
Yeah, it's all going to be depend on like what Walter can carry.
Um,
Room of Flying does have a weight
Weight
limit, I
limit.
believe.
I'm also fine chilling on the cliff, guys. I rolled fine.
That's why I was just like, I did for my bit.
I mean,
if Aloy,
here's what I'll say. I know I just like spent a bunch of time explaining the mechanics of this, but like if y'all think
it,
you
move on.
reasonably have the means to be like peace and not do this, like that's fine.
Well,
I'm
I
yeah,
have,
look,
I have one
offended.
thing
just-
I want to do, which is why I asked what kind of
Yeah,
creature
okay.
it is. So it also might just disrupt this whole thing too.
well,
Which
that's
is
why. That's why I was just like, I was suggesting of my end being like, I don't want to like just grab Aloy. If Aloy wants me to grab him, I could do that. And on the end of being like, if we're just trying to get down to the bottom and not get destroyed by this monster.
I'm not.
Yeah,
I am
fly.
not going to. I'm not going to say no.
Okay.
I was willing to roll it out. I did pretty well on
Have
at least on
we-
the first try.
Okay.
But
Have we long rested since the cage
Yeah.
match?
You
Yes.
slept
Yeah.
and then started this.
I could theoretically force this man to this thing to dance.
No, I have.
save it. Save that for
Save that.
Shivas Invaria.
Okay.
I have
They could
something
fall
that
off the side of
I
a
don't
cliff
think
doing the
will be useful
Macarena.
I have something
Yeah,
I don't think will be
onto
useful
us.
in Shivas Invaria, so I have a thing.
So
So-
yeah, let's. If we got the magic means, okay.
Yes. So
Okay.
I wing by, get Aloy, come on
We
down.
got wing boots. We got broom of
Alternative
flying. We've got Bandor that can make fly. Like so, you guys like begin to like oh shit, scramble down. This thing starts to like come down in your direction. Just so we do something here. Everybody roll a
Yes.
dexterity saving throw.
Cool. Can I get advantage on that since it's
Yes, it would be a
dex
visually
check?
based thing.
Like,
Okay.
Okay.
I actually rolled well, thank God.
25. I basically I see Oz
19.
flying, and I just
The best I'll ever do.
I jump off and grab him.
26.
Oh,
Did you
plus
say-
3 for anyone who's within 10 feet of me too. So
29.
That is a 19.
21 for me.
Okay.
Oh God.
So this thing, as you guys like begin to like take to the air, this thing rolled a 4 on its first roll. So it like kind of jumps down, it stumbles, a big like piece of rock dislodges, like falls down, hits another like piece of rock on the way down, and just shatters into a bunch of like watermelon-sized chunks of rock that come like hurtling towards you guys.
Damn.
But you guys successfully like Osrius like clicks the wing boots, like grabs Alar. The two of you like throw yourself backwards like into the air, reverse swan dive. Walter like comes down and he like he like swings the shovel up and like pang, like knocks a boulder out of the way that was about to hit him, and then like completes the swing and jumps onto the shovel, kicks into the air, flies down. Like you grab his arm, and he like pulls you up into the air, like holding onto you. Brahm, you like strum a chord on the bandor, and you like leap into the air as like a rock is about to like crush your dome.
Can I
But,
run
like,
up it since I got a 29?
What I was gonna say was gonna happen is that like as you like strike the power chord on the bandor, the burst of like fly spell magic goes like poof, and it like catches the rock in the spell, like because it's that close to your body. So like you like Goku for a half a second, you like into the air, and a bunch of little like rocks and pebbles are like around you, and you boost away
Ranga
as the
Super
rocks
Saiyan.
continue to fall. You guys quickly like fly away from the like cliffside and begin to move out and away and down. And you see that creature sort of like watching you go, doesn't seem to know what to do about like you fleeing in a like trajectory that it doesn't understand how to pursue. And eventually you see it like begin to kind of start to pick its way back up, giving up the chase on you. And you are easily able to basically fly down and into the like alive portion of the Verdant Wild below. You feel this like instantaneous change in like barometric pressure as you cross some sort of an invisible threshold. And it is very much like if you walk out of like a dark movie theater into like the bright sunlight where like the color of everything is like off for a second until your eyes adjust, and then everything is this like shade of incredible like emerald green that you hardly ever remember seeing anywhere before in like the real world. You touch down on this like heather soft mat of wild flowers and clover in the bottom of this valley. And you find that you are standing beside the trickling runoff from the largest central waterfall in the distance.
I look around for the path.
Make a perception check.
I'm looking mighty thirsty.
17.
With a 17. You remember the warning that Zarala gave you, which was do not stray from the path. And you look back to like where you left the cliff, and you look like down at your feet, and you're like, fuck.
God damn it.
Yep. Another curse and draconic. We're off the path.
Good.
And I try to trace the path from, visually from the switchback. There. Do I pick it back up?
Every time you try to like trace the switchback path, you start to realize you're like, it's sort of like an MC Escher path. All of a sudden, you're like, none of these paths connect to anything in like a single line down. Like you're like, we were on like a non-Euclidean mountainside. I can't figure out how to get to where we went.
God damn it. Okay. Out of that frying pan, into green fire.
Oh boy.
Are there any non-creepy looking animals around?
Well, I try to summon one. I try and summon Scooter. I don't suppose you're from around here. Are you, buddy? You know how to get to the path?
Scooter's like,
Scooter has no.
Is Scooter Faye?
No, Scooter Celestial.
Yes, might have,
Go on!
Might have a Faye.
Is that the spell you decided to pick up?
Yes.
I think that's an interesting idea. If the idea strikes Brahm to maybe conduct a little ritual here.
Oh.
He goes, all right, everybody, hold on.
Also, thank you for picking up what I was putting down, because I was like, this is the only thing I can think of how to do this.
I learned something new. I made a new friend who might be able to help us. I'm going to attempt it out, test it out. Might be able to help us.
New friend?
Yeah.
What kind of new friend?
A Faye one.
Oh, so not Rutabaga? I thought you knew Rutabaga.
Who?
I missed it.
Oh, wait. You're gonna need some stuff. Alar fishes out a brazier from his pack. You got the stuff needed for this?
Sure. I do now, I guess.
You do now.
I'm not gonna look up.
All right.
Okay, so you can conduct this ritual. So Alar, you and Walter, who's not here, but you guys would remember the first time you conduct this spell is a little different, because in subsequent times that is about like re-bringing forth this thing, or changing its form or what have you. But the first time is about calling out and bringing this entity to you and entering into a bond with it. It is very much a creature that is independent and chooses you, hears your call through this spell, and then when you enter into this bond, the sort of like resonance of its essence with the person is what sort of gives it its form, the form that you know as Scooter the Celestial Weasel, the form that Walter knows as Morgan the Raven. So Brahm, as you sit down
I have an
to conduct
idea.
this ritual. Well, tell me what does the ritual look like?
Well,
what are you doing?
Brahm sits down sort of like cross-legged, and from his bag he takes something that's only about like yay big, but it's like wrapped up in cloth. And he remembers back to days in the Twilight Royale. He would often there was a puppet that he had made that he would entertain some of the younger children with, and that's sort of like what he's thinking about when he's going to like perform this ritual and attempting to summon the celestial version of this, or the Fey version of this puppet.
Okay, and this is the thing that you sent me a picture of earlier?
It's
you put in general earlier?
Just in general. It's one of the most recent things.
Okay.
It's like the last
so,
post in general.
So here's what happens. You take this puppet out, right? And you lay it on the clover in front of you. And you sit the brazier down, you light the incense in it, you throw materials in, and you recite the words that came like on the inscription with the essentially like the how-to for this spell. And you call out into this this fey plane that surrounds you for a creature that is willing to hear your call. And after about 10 minutes of working this magic and kind of sitting with your eyes closed, you begin to wonder, like, is it gonna work? Is there this one little bastion of still living Verdant Wild? Is there anything still surviving here? And from the wildflowers just up ahead of you, you see like a little shuffling motion. The wildflowers sort of shift and part, and a black and white badger wanders into this little clearing around where you guys have set up your ritual here. And it kind of like sits back on its back haunches and puts its like head up and sort of sniffs the air. And Brahm, it looks at you, and it like sort of contemplates with its little badger hands, and then it moves over towards you, and it looks at this puppet, and it looks at you, and it reaches out one of its hands and it plucks the hat off of this puppet, and it sniffs it, kind of turns it over, inspects it, tucks it against its chest with one hand, and it reaches out one of its paws to you.
I will shake its paw.
You shake his little paw. He, like a light like flares behind his little beady little eyes, and like a wash of magic flows over him, flows over you, and he puts the top hat onto his head, and reaches down and like pulls the coat off of the puppet, and like puts it on. And we'll put him up on stream for everybody.
Relax, Scooter. I'm not going to make you wear that stuff.
Meanwhile,
Not if you don't want it.
Morgan pecking Walter in the side of the head, like just because Jason's not here, I'm saying Morgan's peck.
What the heck just happened here?
You have the right one, right? It was like the most recent.
Yeah.
Okay. Because there was one I did earlier,
I keep
and then
I
this
keep
one which
like
was better.
I saved it, and it like saves and then immediately disappears out of the folder that I'm saving it to. Weird, which is very strange.
No badger for you.
I may have to go sans the picture of it. As
You can figure it out for later.
I figure it out. For later, apparently. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, he puts on the top hat. He like pulls on this little coat, and as he like completes shaking your hand, he like sits back, and he like crosses his arms and he goes, "Yeah, how you doing?"
Oh, wasn't expecting the talk. And I will. I'll. Everybody else can see him now, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
They could see him the whole time.
Okay. I will. I'll gesture to everybody, and I go, friends. May I introduce you to the one and only Professor Biscuit.
Professor Biscuit.
Professor Biscuit.
Greetings,
Biscuit?
Professor.
He kind of looks at you and goes,
I bow to the professor.
"Professor? All right, I can work with that. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Just so we're clear about the nature of this relationship, I can only talk while we're here. After you leave this place, I'll be like, more of a silent companion."
That's fine. That's for the best.
I think we can both agree that that's for the best.
I flick him a gold piece and be like, I like the way you talk.
He's like, "Thanks, buddy."
I bet you 5 gold that bad you can talk.
He like tucks the gold coin into his little like vest pocket, and he goes, "Okay, so what can I do for you, champ?"
Well, we're looking to get the fuck out of here, and we were hoping you could show us the way.
We need to find the path again. We came off of it to avoid a creepy skull thing.
Oh, classic mistake. Leaving the
Yeah.
path. You don't do that in the full wild.
We
Yeah,
tried not to, but then it was, fight a creepy thing with just a skull, like just bone face, while climbing down a mountainside, or
Yeah, you don't want to have just bones for face. That's pretty bad. Okay, yep. Well, follow me, idiots. I'll get you out of here. And he like scampers off.
How lively.
I look at Scooter and I wonder if he judges us just as harshly, and then I look at Morgan and wonder if she judges us just as harshly, and I start walking.
Gonna be like,
Quietly
I
to
wouldn't-
himself, Brahm is like, they're jealous they don't have outfits.
wonder, and I'm just gonna slowly
Alright.
talk to myself, being like, I wonder.
Scooter
who
literally
would
just
talk
does
like
the
this.
slow side eye look to you, and just settles himself as normal around Alar's neck like a collar.
Oh,
I'm gonna
What
get,
did you say?
I'm gonna
I
get Hoover to
pick up
talk to me.
my
one day.
the brazier, shake it out, throw some water.
Before this campaign is over, I'm speaking to Hoover. And I'm
Yeah,
just gonna say,
yeah,
"Done
yeah.
deal.
We're gonna
New
we're gonna
goal.
find out.
Screw everything else. This is the
We
new
may
plan.
have spoken to Hoover before. I'm not sure.
I haven't though.
We've spoken to
we
Dr.
spoke-
Strongfast a couple times.
We talked to
for sure.
Dr. Strongfast. Look, Dr. Strongfast, Professor Biscuits, there's a theme.
Yeah, all of Brahm's animal companions have advanced degrees. That's the theme.
Yeah, they all have titles. It was almost Lord Biscuit, but then
Lord
I
Biscuit,
thought,
Professor
Lord
Biscuit.
Biscuit.
No,
Professor
Professor
Biscuit
Biscuit
is
is really
good.
good. Okay, so Professor Biscuit leads you guys in the direction of that large waterfall. After a minute, you realize you are walking on like a game trail of matted down like clover and wildflowers. That like you don't know how you missed it before, but as you follow Professor Biscuit, you easily are able to navigate this path that leads you kind of along the side of this little babbling brook, which eventually widens out into a creek, into a into a river essentially. You guys get to the base of this large waterfall, which is like flanked by these huge like rocky cliff faces with like lush green plant life and like trees like arching out of them. And Professor Biscuit, like Brahm, he like runs up and he like runs up and like jumps onto your shoulder, and he points at the waterfall, and he goes, "You know the drill. You know, second star to the right, straight on till morning. All that through the waterfall. That's the way out."
Thank you, Professor.
Professor, before we go through the waterfall and before you can't tell us, what is your favorite food?
Yeah, I'll give you a wild guess.
He says, "Yeah, I mean, after all, my name is Professor Biscuit, so naturally, my favorite food is macaroons."
Cookies.
Rom?
Madam Macaroon. That's a good female companion for
He
later.
goes, "Yeah, if you ever get the chance to like find a second familiar or something, maybe you could hook a brother up." He's like, "All right, this is getting tiresome. Go through the fucking waterfall."
Yeah, no, wait, there's a long pause and Alar's just start walking. Just, nope.
Yeah. Actually, Osrius is gonna take a minute at the waterfall. He's gonna to like, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Osrius is gonna take a minute and go to the edge there and like start what. So I'm guessing there is like an actual like pond or like basin.
Yeah,
to,
there
like,
is
where
there
this
is like a
waterfall goes, yeah.
absolutely crystal clear like small lake that this waterfall is
Yeah.
feeding. You walk into it and immediately like the bracing cold, like this waterfall comes from like pure snow melt. It is barely above freezing. As you like step into it, you feel the rush of cold like immediately begins to like seep into your limbs as you kind of wade out into the water.
Osrius kind of starts to take this in and like start to like he gets to like step to the edge of the water to start walking in, and like for a minute, like you guys have all noticed, it's like Osrius might be like a little like veins of like hot, like veins of like red at certain times, like of ash and like fire. But as soon as like Osrius kind of gets in here, I think he feels like a sense of like, it's like his breath has almost been like tucked away, like he like it's like really like extreme for a minute for him, but then it's like I would want to say that Osrius is like bits of flourish of like red that might be in some veins like start to turn like a little colder, start to turn like to a fashion of like a light blue into like a cold blue. And Osrius is going to try to like, after like kind of feeling this for a minute, he's going to put his hands up on like the side of the water, like up on the level at the top of the water, and start to like push himself like out while like while ice is starting to form like under his hands.
Yeah,
like
so
he
you,
starts
like-
to like push himself up out of the water.
Yeah, you sort of seep in, and like I think maybe like at first there's like steam
Yeah,
rises
yeah,
out
yeah.
of the water, and as like the steam subsides, it like drains with it the like cold bright heat that had been burning beneath the surface of your skin, and it cools down. And Osrius, you actually feel like your skin like contract and like crack in some places, like like a superheated stone being like rapidly cooled. And as he like pushes his way out, you sort of like freeze out from around yourself until you're able to like step up, and there's like some like light little chunks of ice kind of like floating around you, and what normally had been like a sort of a vague like almost moltenous glow like beneath like the collar and stuff has cooled to this like deep like it's almost like soot black.
Osrius kind of gets up on the end of the ice and like kind of sits himself like on the side, like with his feet. I would figure like he's on a set of ice where it's like his feet are dangling in, kind of looking at the others while he's like wiping his face and like looking at the others and being like, well, now is the time of inning to see that and while like going towards the waterfall and like going towards the exit and being like, well, I guess now is time is inning to say that maybe across my journey I've learned a few things, and maybe I don't know, maybe anger can't always be the answer. It can be a solution sometimes, maybe, surely, but it can't always be the answer, right? And he kind of like wipes himself off a little bit and kind of gives like a small sigh. He's like, kind of like it here, but I'm glad we're moving forward.
Like I said, all the way back in the Wood Elves forest. Damn glad to have you back, Oz.
I'm very glad to be back.
Brom, Professor Biscuit leans to you and he goes, looks like your friend has learned how to chill out. Ha-cha-cha!
Oh my god.
Scooter slowly looks up, looks at Professor Biscuit, and then just skitters into Alar's coat. He's just, nope.
And also later,
Yeah.
With that
also,
button.
also later, you guys will. We
Wait,
talked
wait,
about this
hold on.
before.
Matt, give us that line delivery again.
Oh, looks like your friend has learned how to chill out. Ha-cha-cha!
Hey, God.
Very good.
I love the fact is that you did that immediately, and the first thing that came up was like, adjust your soundboard volume. Being like, yes, I don't want to hear this.
I don't want to hear this any louder than I just had to hear it.
Hey, do you want to stop that crime from being committed anymore?
Adjust your soundboard volume. You can turn it off.
All right,
that's
so
cool.
you guys proceed through the waterfall.
Yes.
I assume the stream can hear that.
As you were saying, the later we'll know.
I heard it, so stream can hear it because stream is
Yeah.
my audio.
Just real quick, and I'll tell you guys too.
Unfortunately.
Now, obviously, switching to the Storm Soul Tundra as an action that can freeze 5 feet of water, but also for you guys, especially every bonus action that I get, and just please remind me, I can give you guys up to gain 4 temporary hit points. So that's what's each bonus action. So if you get like,
I don't know that they stack.
they do not stack, but I have read that if they go down to like 1 temporary hit
can back up
point
to
and I
4.
give it again,
Yeah.
you can go back up to 4. So if you come down,
So if Rowan's fighting side by side with you, she takes a hit. You can give her back 4 temporary
highlighting
hit
that
points. She
in the
takes
notes.
another hit. You can give her a.
each bonus action within each creature I want within 10 feet. So 10 feet, creatures that I pick. So it's not just every creature. I can pick individually if you guys are around. So
Nice.
I'll note that. I'll try to keep that in mind every time.
No,
so.
that's good. I was looking forward to fighting side by side. That's just icing on the cake.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
All right, so you guys move forward
Alright.
into the waterfall. The downpour of water like pummels into your head and shoulders, almost like forcing you down to the ground. You wade through the loose rocks beneath your feet of like the bottom of this waterfall, like slipping and sliding and causing you to struggle as you move through. And as you progress further, you take one step and you lift your foot up out of the like shifting, sandy, pebbly shore of this bottom of this river. And when you place it back down, you find that it lands firmly on smooth, polished, worked stone. And you trudge forward, and the water clears from your vision, and you find that you are standing in the thick haze of the sort of mist cloud outside the stream of water at the base of this waterfall. And in front of you, you see on either side two like stone polished like sides of like a tributary, and there is like handrails, and there are people moving about. You find that you are smack in the absolute center of a absolutely like miraculous, regal, beautiful elven metropolis. You are in Shivas Invaria.
Shivas Invaria! Whoa!
Oh god.
The question.
And we're like just like in the center of the water.
Question of, can I find the picture that I posted? There it is for stream.
I hope so.
Let's put it in front of myself for a minute here.
Oh my
Can you
god.
put that in our...
I did.
Oh, there you go. You did.
Yeah, he
I
did.
love you.
This place looks like they smell their own farts, just saying.
Yeah, Alar is looking around this place, and
So,
he is very unnerved, and he very quietly says, "So this is what it's like to be a pilgrim in a godless land."
what you guys find, you are
High five.
I'll put myself back in front of this again. You guys are here, which for if you're not looking at the stream and you just have
I'm
the
not
picture to
looking.
reference, like beneath that large arch, the like foot of the waterfall.
Okay,
Like,
now
you're
I see.
there.
Yes.
You're in the middle of this like river.
Oh my god.
So like
Okay.
on either side of you, there's like the lowest level of like the city here, and you immediately like see that like there are people going about their business probably 25 feet from you, like 15 feet up. Nobody seems to have noticed you yet, but like the denizens of Shivas Invaria are all around.
While we're
When you
just standing
exited
in the
out of
water.
the Verdant Wild, you like the natural like riverbed of this of the base of this waterfall has been like built into the center of their city. So like the floor is like worked stone, and it is like essentially like a big like aqueduct that is channeling the water here.
So this is the exit for a lot of people coming out of the wild.
It's time for that mask.
Dude.
Oh, the one with our.
Look, it's
Ignian
bad enough.
elf?
It's bad enough. We've got 2 humans and a storm giant. We don't need 2 humans, a storm giant, and a half orc as well.
Professor Biscuit on your shoulder, Brahm, is like shakes water off of his like fur.
Yeah, I will use the mask. Hold on, I have that guy's.
I'm less concerned about his backstory. It's more
Shift Supervisor Thalanil Darrenin. Dane, or I can't
You want
even
to
read
give him a
whatever.
new fake name, you can.
Okay, good.
You just need like you have his appearance. You can make up a different identity for him
Okay.
as you go undercover, so that you don't have to pronounce that a bunch of times.
Fine.
I mean, we also still have his paper. Yeah, we still have his
You
papers.
still have his
but,
papers. But he's definitely not supposed to be here.
yeah. So alright.
Okay. So what do you guys do as
And
you have
also
like
dead.
you have like a moment to like make a decision here, as like people have not seen you yet?
Yeah, I'm gonna. I like.
I am immediately
I
looking
mask
around for a shady spot.
Yeah.
It's not so much a shady spot so much as there's like marble walls like heading towards the the waterfall like directly to your back, and like off out towards the outskirts of the city. There are like some occasionally like steps with like some platforms where like people would come down to the river to like collect water or do washing or whatever. It is there's nowhere you're in the middle of like a water channel in this city. There's nowhere to hide, and it is definitely weird that you're a group of people in the middle of this thing.
Kingdom. On these platforms, is there a bucket that's left behind?
Sure. Yeah, near like the nearest
Okay.
one to you is maybe 20 feet. You know, kind of wading through the water to there.
Okay. Oz, I need you to trust me. Grab the bucket.
I grab the bucket.
Fill it with some water. Up. Act like you belong here.
Okay.
Oz, sorry. Follow behind us.
So you
Okay.
so basically you just like beeline it for like the shore to get like you climb like onto the flagstone of this platform. Make a group stealth check to see like if anybody spots you guys like just wading out of the river.
I actually have a +3 in
Natural 20,
Okay.
making it a 27.
God damn it!
Oh, natural
22.
20.
You said group stealth.
Yep.
What is your
And
stealth
hold on,
there?
I will call up Walter.
He's wearing heavy armor too.
I don't have a
Stealth?
I have a 15. I have a +3 in stealth, and I don't.
I have the +0, so
15, natural 20, yours is 12, you said, Ron?
yeah.
Okay.
22 for me, and why can I not bring up? Oh, okay, I can't bring up Walter's character.
I'll just roll a flat d20 for Walter.
Okay.
Walter's got an 11. Okay. You guys, let me make a perception check for some like passers-by. That's an 8 and a 7? No, a 2. Okay. You guys make it to the side. You kind of clamber out of the water. You are drenched wet, but you are not in the river anymore. Osirius, like you pick up the bucket. You have a bucket full of water. Nobody seems to have noticed you. You do hear a rather boisterous goings on in the street up above you. So if you'll sort of envision, you are like at a platform that is like water level. There's like a stone set of steps that leads up a flight of steps to like street level proper at the lowest tier of the city here.
That would be a hell of a time to be able to cast Prestidigitation. All right. I'm going to carefully climb up a little bit so I can take a quick peek over and try and get the lay of the immediate area.
Make a perception check.
25.
With a 25. You pull your head up, and you are immediately greeted by the sight of the back of a bunch of people's feet and legs, as there seems to be something of a crowd in the street. Immediately, you can hear the sound of like fanfare. It appears that a full marching band is nearby to you. You kind of are having trouble seeing, but there is like a line of people on this side of the street that are all looking in the same direction as something. You hear this like marching band noise. You hear the like rumble of like a large procession of people, and as you kind of look up, you see that from like rooftops and many of the like balconies and terraces, there are lots of people who are like leaning out of windows and like looking. There are these like brightly colored streamers and ribbons and flags have been like hung from the eaves of a lot of the buildings, and you see that there is like brightly colored fluttering like confetti is like kind of raining down through the air, being like flung from open windows. You can't see it proper, But damn if you are not sure that there is a parade like 10 feet from you on the other side of this group of people.
Okay. Drawing upon my the history of being a citizen of the Empire, and trying to do a little.
Is it a holiday? I guess is the question.
Yes.
Yeah, what day is it?
Make a history check.
Oh, thank God I do that at advantage. Oh, that's good. Plus 7 is an 18.
Not that you know of.
Shit. Okay. Not a holiday. Victory parade? Fuck.
I hear Alar whispering this.
Alright. Everybody up, and we're gonna try and... We're just gonna casually, we're gonna, hear the parade, but we're just gonna keep going until we get past the cordoned off areas, and then find a quiet spot.
Okay.
Like I said, us, you fall behind. You're carrying, the day's, for the house.
Okay.
You guys head up onto the street. As you get to street level, you can see exactly as suspected. There is a full parade taking place down the street. The mix of people in the crowd here, Alar, it is heavily weighted towards High Elven people. But you do see a smattering of humans, half-elves, a few half-orcs, a few full orcs, though they appear to be, definitely in the, retinue of some of, the other people in the area. There is a kind of a mismatch of people here. The general garb of the crowd in this area are clearly that of more common folk. You get the sense that at this basis level closest to the river, where you have come up, you didn't accidentally stumble into the fancy part of town. So you guys you kind of are able to breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief as you realize okay, we're not so out of place in our dress here that we're gonna necessarily stick out like a sore thumb. Osrius is the only Goliath to be seen and is a full head and shoulders taller than probably anybody else in the area. But at least for right now, the attention seems to be fully directed on the parade, which you can see as you come forward now and get to street level is certainly a military parade. There are rows and rows of soldiers in full dress formal regalia, crisp uniforms, ceremonial armor, war horses. They are marching through the streets, being flanked by musicians and trumpeters as they make their way in the the direction of the waterfall that you guys just walked out of, and you see that the parade is going from somewhere further down the valley up to the waterfall, and where they are beginning to ascend a ramp, a sloped section to head up towards sort of the higher echelons of the city. You can look up and you can see that on the far side of the waterfall, on the opposite side of the valley that this city is in, is what is undoubtedly the Imperial Palace. It is at the highest tier. So on that picture, it's the left side, sort of the highest point there. The very top there is the Imperial Palace complex. That is the opposite side of the river from where you guys are right now.
Okay. As we're going along,
over there, most likely.
I'm looking for one of a better term, streetlights, chanters boards, or something like that. I'm looking for some sort of decree or sign that might give me an idea of why they're having this parade.
Okay. Make an investigation check.
While he's doing that, I'm actually
29.
gonna watch the parade for a moment.
Okay.
Just to see what's going on.
Rowan, you see that the parade is, as I had said, definitely a military parade. The soldiers that are like marching in this parade, they're like waving to people. There are columns of soldiers who are like marching in like a clearly like organized lockstep as they like demonstrate fancy marching marching routines. The people of the city, a lot of the elves look to be like really like impressed by this. They're like throwing flowers to the soldiers. Some of the other denizens of the city down here, you don't see any like outright hostility or anything like that, but some folks just kind of look, they're just watching this, as like it's just a thing to look at. They don't seem to have too
Like passively watching, they're not
too
like
strong.
super like.
Yeah. They're not like, yes, the soldiers. They're just like, it's a parade.
That's exactly what I wanted to know.
Alar, you find a board that has what you quickly identify as like an imperial decree on it, and it states in Ignian that this day has been declared an imperial day of celebration, and that it announces like the parade which you are currently seeing happening, and says that like the parade will conclude in the overlook beneath the Imperial Palace, where His Eminence, the Emperor of the noble Ignian Empire, Errant Thalar, will deliver an address to his loyal subjects after the 12th bell this afternoon.
Oh boy. We should, like normal folks,
Follow the parade.
follow the parade. There's gonna be an announcement by the Emperor.
Is there anybody like, as there are at parades? I imagine yes, but is there like some? I'm looking specifically for like someone who looks a little bit more down on their luck, maybe selling less than perfect flowers to be thrown then at the parade.
Make an
That I can imbibe.
insight check.
14.
You don't see anybody like hawking wares on the street. What you do see are what you gauge to be not soldiers, but like city guards, like imperial city guards, like roving through the crowds of onlookers of the parade.
Okay, I point that out to the group and I go, blend in as best you can, guys.
Just watch the parade, relax.
Smile and wave, boys.
That's fun. All right.
So I wanted
Right.
flowers. I was gonna be like, oh, like I was gonna join in like the fanfare a little.
Yep.
But nope.
Yeah, Brown pasted a great big smile on your face. We're all happy Imperial citizens here.
The badger in the top hat on your shoulder is also like,
Yeah. It's like in Beauty and the Beast when the Beast is like,
No.
with the
That
smile.
smile.
Yeah.
and Brahm, you're disguised as an elf, right? You've put your mask of 1,000 faces on. Okay.
Yes.
All right. What's your goal here? Where you're kind of moving into the crowd, but where are you trying to go? What are you doing here?
There's a parade. Man, parade, Imperial Day of Celebration, there's not going to be a whole lot of people at the government buildings. Sorry. This is Alar's thought process.
Are you Shakespeare? You're Shakespearean monologuing, just addressing the crowd.
Soliloquying.
You're doing a soliloquy right now.
Yeah. So if there's not people, this is our chance. We're gonna follow the crowd. We're gonna head for the high. What the hell was it called again? The high
Octoritas,
head for that high Octoritas,
which is at the palace.
Yep. It'll give us a nice view of the soldiers and other things.
Out of pure paranoia at this point, because this is who I am becoming, as we're walking and maneuvering and trying our best to stay out of trouble, Rowan's gonna try to listen out for anyone talking about a dragon, just in case.
Okay. Make a perception check as you guys make your way through the crowd.
19.
Okay.
As we go.
So you catch snippets of some things as you walk. You walk through the crowd. You hear individuals talking to each other. You hear things like, the Empire's decisive victory. You hear words like, you hear things like birthright. You hear, ancestral lands. You hear usurper, thrown around. Things like that. You do with a high enough roll. You do hear you catch a couple of snippets. Catch a snippet of a conversation between two people where somebody somebody says something along the lines of I heard that they took the Middle capital with not a single soldier lost, and somebody else replies to them, yes, I'm sure that's the version they told of it. I can't help but wonder what happened to all the people that were already living in that city. And the other person says, like, you do not say such things. And they, you kind of notice, and you see, one of those, city watchmen is, moving through the crowd kind of towards them, and they both, shut up and, scurry away from here. You do hear a couple of mutterings of, things like, the Emperor controls a dragon. He does his bidding. You hear that he called it forth from the skies, and it came down and obliterated the Mifflindian army. You hear that it landed on top of Castle Mifflinde and planted the Imperial flag there. Some stuff is certainly crazy. And rumor mongering, but it does seem that word that a red dragon has appeared, and it seems to be under the control of the Empire. These people know it.
Okay. Rowan does her best not to vomit as she walks and keeps going.
Sure. Yeah, but yes, your consensus from what you kind of hear, the parsing out all the wild stuff from the rumors, the consensus does seem to be that the dragon is in Niveria.
Okay.
You continue to make your way through the streets. You kind of have to push through the crowds a little bit. You follow along kind of the parade route, sort of several tiers up. you get to a point where the parade is like passing through a large regal arched gate into a portion of the city that is like kind of one tier up, and you see like you definitely see like the streets beyond this gate are wider, the buildings are bigger, there's a little more room between them, and this is sort of like the uppermost echelon around the level at which like the palace is kind of on this level. From where you are standing, you see the only way to proceed is through this same gate that like the parade is currently passing through.
Do I have any idea of what time of day it is?
It is, based on, like, the position of the sun in the sky, it is a little before noon. So you think there's maybe, like, somewhere between 20 to 45-ish minutes before, like, this parade is supposed to conclude, and the Emperor is supposed to, like, come out in, like, his tower and, like, give an address to the people.
And there doesn't appear to be any sign that they're letting the common folk into that,
you do see some people. The gate is wide enough that even, like, with the parade going through, there are some people, like, coming in and going out of the gate. You see mostly elves. You do see a couple of humans, a couple of half elves. You see a halfling couple, a man and a woman, like go into the gate.
All right. Then I'm going to, nothing for it. Let's go.
Act like you belong.
Yep. And hoping that at this point we're dry enough that we're not drawing too much attention.
Okay. You move towards the gate. Make a perception check.
Thank God I'm rolling well today. That is a 25.
As you get within about 50 feet of the gate, Alar, you pick up that the gate guards on the side of the gate closest to you have very clearly, like, clocked Osrius and are watching you guys approach. They haven't done anything yet, but you distinctly get the sense that they are, like, when you, like, get up to them, they are going to, like, move to stop you.
I'm going to walk a little bit further and then find a vantage point and stop and, look like I'm enjoying the parade.
Okay. So Alar, like, kind of peels off from you guys.
Well, no, I'm doing so very obviously to clue in the other guys to, stop here.
So you see Walter. You see Alar, like, peels off the main path where you guys were heading through this gate. He climbs up kind of like a set of steps that's in front of like a walk-up first-story building, and is looking.
I move a few feet beyond him to make it seem less like we're all reacting to whatever he does, and stop and then like I'm checking my coin purse or whatever, like just waiting to hear what's going on.
I'm gonna watch the parade. I'm also gonna look around and see if there's there's no obvious there's no other entrance in, but there.
Not from where you can see from here now.
All right. Back the way we came. Were there any side streets that we could?
Oh, sure. I mean, you're in a major metropolitan. I mean, there's limitless different directions and streets and alleys and different ways you could go. From where you are, you get the sense, kind of from what you can see, like there is a big walled portion that like separates the tier that you were on from like the next tier up. You get the sense that all obvious routes into like beyond this point are going to go through some sort of a checkpoint like this. Not to say there's not, there's always cracks and crevices and ways that the less scrupulous in any city find to navigate things, but time is very pressed. You don't know anybody here. Finding something like that is gonna take some educated guesswork and some severe luck.
Do I see anybody who looks like a potential servant or something that is coming this way but then peeling off as if they're going to like a servant's entrance, like they're not allowed to approach from the main front?
Through that gate? Not really.
Not through the gate, but like they're approaching towards this way and then they're like two streets back, whatever, kind of curving off. Like
I would say
anyone that's carrying like supplies for like this big celebration.
Yeah, make a perception check.
Yeah, good thinking.
Not my best roll of the day. That's only a 14.
With a 14, you see somebody is pushing a fairly large wheeled crate. Not in the direction that the parade is going, but like off towards one of these larger, nicer houses that are like on the side of the street that you guys are on.
Human, elf, what's
they are a human.
I'm going to just quickly, head that way and just whisper to the guys really quick, I'll be right back, and head towards them.
Okay.
Like, not rushing, just kind of like acting as if I've seen a friend.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, and like...
I mean, yeah, you're hardly noticed by anybody around here. There's hundreds of people in like out on the streets here.
I'm putting on the show.
You are one in a crowd. And as you like move away from the other companions, hardly anybody looks in your direction.
So, when I reach the person with the cart, I just say, "Excuse me."
He stops. Yes. Can I help you? I am short on time.
I was wondering if you needed any help. My friends and I, we've fallen on some bad times, and we're strong. And I kind of just smirk a little, and I kind of look back to where like Oz is standing, and we can help move things a lot faster if you need help.
He sort of looks at you like a little suspiciously. He says, "No, that is quite all right. I need to get this to my to the manor. My employer will not be happy if I'm any later with it. But no, they are not in need of any help now. No, thank you. Goodbye." And they start to push their cart away from you.
I watch where he goes.
He goes into into and around the the side, and then around the back of like one of the buildings adjacent to like the street that you are on. A rather large, like well-off, fancy-looking like townhome type of building.
How far is the townhome from the wall?
Other side of the street, like.
Okay. Stupid stuck-up people rushing to get time. I run back to the guys.
Brom, any ideas of how we can talk Osrius past these people?
Do we think the play that he's like a hired servant that we used the last time would work again?
I mean
these people are short-sighted.
possibly.
And racist.
Yeah, well, that would probably work well. Probably the best play we got. So, you're good at talking, and you look the part. So,
Ayla and I can split off and go through the other side of the gate. We don't need to be all together.
Yeah. So if you want, you want to take Walter and Osrius. All right.
Okay.
We'll
Yeah.
certainly try it.
You are the better talker than me. I'm awkward, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Best I can do is look like I belong here. Alright. Good luck, I'll see you on the other side. Aylar's gonna watch a little bit, and he's gonna wait for, like, the start of another unit coming through, and he's gonna, kind of keep watching, but he's going to drift toward the...
Okay. So if you guys are kind of peeling off on your own, and what I will say is, like, the two of you will not have any issue just going through that gate. So unless something specific changes, we will focus on these guys.
Okay.
As you will otherwise find that the two of you are able to just walk through that gate onward. You get, you would as you go through, you would get looked at by the guards, very vigilantly looking at people, but not stopping.
I studiously look, not at them, just, the right amount of deference of,
Brahm, Walter, and Osrius, you guys begin to approach the gate. Brahm, you notice certainly, and Osrius, that like before, as you approach, now that Aylar kind of gave you the heads up, as Osrius starts to come up through the crowd, the guards on the closest to you immediately have clocked him, and as you get up to them, they move out into the way, and one of them puts a hand out in your direction, and he speaks to you, Brahm, and he says, "Perhaps you were not aware of the royal decree. The moratorium on lesser races within the highest echelons of the High Imperium's grounds has been lifted for several of the," and he kind of looks at Walter, several of the lower classes, but the ban on the brute races still remains firmly and wisely in place. Whatever that is, need return to your home.
You are muted, by the way.
No, I didn't say anything.
No,
Oh, Brittany is muted.
Yeah.
I was just muttering in my own brain. No one needs to hear my thoughts. I'm just having a panic attack. It's fine.
First of all, how dare you speak to me? This is my business. These are my servants, and I got nowhere without them. And I do not think His Imperial Royal Majesty would be too happy to hear that you held me up at the gate with your bullshit.
He says, "I dare speak to you because it is my job, and I have been instructed to allow only the proper types through this gate. You can go wherever you like with your servants, unless wherever you like is through this gate, in which case you will not be going with that one."
Perhaps is it not also your job to be made aware when these important guests are coming?
Make a deception check.
$22.
He says, "I hardly think any important guests would be meandering through a gate at the back of the parade when all of the important guests have been banqueting in the Imperial Hall for the last 12 hours or so." And he's got a smug look on his face, but you definitely can sense that he's
Yes.
is this something important?
Yes. Yeah, look, listen to me. You, what is your name and rank?
He says, I am...
It does not matter. Your name is Greg now. Listen to me. I have traveled a far way to be here for the Emperor's behalf, and I have had a long and troublesome journey. First, we take off down the river. We get halfway down the river. We realize we forget the boat. We have to go back. Then we come back. We get the boat. We get there. Then we run out of food. We go back. Then we come back. We have enough food and the boat. We get here. The boat, it crashes. We have to swim 9 miles. The only reason I'm alive is because I employ this large gentleman here, and he is taller than the river. And now I have made it here. I am late. I am tired. And your face reminds me of poo-poo.
He's a very important. He's a very important man.
Do you...
What?
Do you have any documentation of any sort to prove the veracity? You haven't even given me your name.
Just give him the papers, dude. Just give him the papers. Don't even deign to give him your name out loud. Just give him the papers, please.
I'm just gonna
Here's
look
the thing,
Brown.
though.
I'm just gonna look to Brown, being like, I can give him the papers if you want.
Here's the thing, though. This is the trouble. This is the trouble.
Aylar and Rowan are watching from the other side.
The papers are not as important a man as I am making myself out to be.
That's
but
true.
if I don't show him the papers,
Can we do the quick? Can you do the quick sheriff badge thing? Be like, yeah, here they are. Whack, whack. Like, real quick. Here you go. Yeah, there's my
I
papers.
goes, do you think that the man who has just had to swim 9 miles up the river has look into my papers? I somehow managed to pull a bunch of wet papers out of a pocket.
Make a sleight of hand check.
Question while he's doing that. How far away from him are we if we haven't moved too far past the gate?
I would say you could be within 20, 30 feet. Probably not close enough to, like, make out the
28.
specifics of, like, his conversation over the commotion of, like, an active parade. But you can see him, like, wildly gesticulating and arguing with his gate guard.
28.
28.
Look at this. This was all kinds of papers. This was my papers, my manuscript for a very important thing I am working on. It is all ruined. It is a pile of garbage because of the river. I am most angry, and now you are making me even more aggravated.
I was just looking through Walter's stuff to see if there was anything that, like, he could do in this situation.
He casts mold earth.
I was gonna say, yeah, about the best he can do is ask me what the ground's made of, find out that it's worked stone, and not be able to do
nothing.
Anything.
You said I'm within 30 feet.
Yeah.
When I see Brahm reaching for the papers, I'm going to cast Minor Illusion, and since they can't see me cast it, it's they would have to save at disadvantage to make it look like there is a proper Imperial seal on it, like it's a citizen's paper, like a high citizen's paper, like I saw Zintrus's forged document.
So
Can I
with
get a
his
combo on this really quick, just to maybe help? Since they can't see me, the guy that's talking, I want to cast command on him from behind, since he can't see me.
okay.
And the command word, if he fails, is believe. Meaning believe
That's
whatever you think you're
interesting.
seeing.
So they would have to save at. Let's see, where's my illusion? The DC to see through it would be a 17.
And it's a 15 wisdom for command.
Also wisdom save, but at disadvantage. So I am.
And I don't know if him seeing an Imperial seal makes him kind of believe it a little bit more, so maybe he has less wisdom to resist my spell, but I'm gonna
Also, I rolled a 27 on this sleight of hand check, or 28 on the sleight of hand check, so that might also help.
teamwork!
Your mother was a hamster.
Interesting. Yeah, very. I don't think that's how command is intended to be used, but it's like not
Doesn't say it's
technically
not.
wrong.
It's just a command word.
It's just a command. Like it
The
definitely
best way
intends
to
it
be right
like
on a technicality.
an action,
I
and
never
you have
anything that
you've
works for the rule of
absolutely
cool in this goddamn
like
game.
you've
Mother-
reverse engineered command into like an irresistible suggestion spell.
Did we flabbergast you?
I don't see any like anything in the. I don't
Did you just
see
see it?
anything in the like the text of this spell that says that it doesn't work.
I think
like
Brittany
that.
I think Brittany just D&D'd correctly.
D&D.
I think Brittany just
Okay.
Do a rule of cool.
The award for D&D the hardest tonight. goes to-
Here's what I'm gonna do. He'll make a wisdom save against Brittany. He'll make a wisdom save against Alar, and Brahm already made the
Sleight of hand.
sleight of hand.
I'm just standing there to look pretty.
The wisdom
What you
save
got?
versus me is a disadvantage.
Okay,
Yeah, because he can't see him.
that's good because the first one
He
was
could have
17.
just shoved him in the bag of holding.
So
and
the
walked through.
save
So I'd
against
say
the
it.
minor illusion is a
I could
15.
have showed
This
him
is
the
more
papers.
fun.
Then to him it looks legit.
Okay.
Okay, I
The
could have
But,
showed
like,
him.
save,
wet and
what was your
fucked up.
sleight of hand?
28.
Okay, then I'm not even. He doesn't even need to roll. He can't beat that. The save against the command was a natural 1. So I think
This man finds religion.
I'm sorry, Aylor is just literally just doing, he's doing
Promise
that
his
little hand
God
gesture
now.
all of
I
a sudden
think
to his
he-
left.
he goes.
Roland goes full Benny
I
Gesserit
literally
and
just
goes,
He goes. By the gods, it's the Emperor himself! Right this face!
Is there another guard?
He just lets you go.
Is there another guard next to him? Or is it just
The other guard next to him goes like, "What do you?" And he goes, "Shut up!" And he slaps him in the face.
yeah, Alar's just,
You
kind
shut your dirty mouth in front of the Emperor and his Goliath.
As we're walking away, because like we don't really know that happened, I lean over to Oz and I'm like, "What the fuck was that?
So
Are we
Now-
better than we thought we were?"
now
at this?
here's
I just
here's the
find
thing.
Ayla.
Hang on, because here's the thing. The duration of command is only 1 round, so you guys get
Shit.
4 feet behind him, and he goes,
Wait a minute.
"What the fuck?" And turns around and goes, "Stop!" And immediately, like, he begins to, like, his sword comes out, and you guys have. I'll give you like a second to choose a course of action, and then depending on what that is, will depend on what happens next.
I pull out the band door and cast invisibility on all 3 of us.
Yeah, do that for what's fun.
No, that would probably be good right now.
You
Like,
should've just done that in the first place.
he just looks at us and he's like, "What the fuck?" And we're like,
You
"No,
also
you
you also could have put Osrius in the
I
bag
like-
of holding
I like
and just walked
strummed
through the
the
gate.
band door
Like,
with
you
a
had
middle
so
finger,
many,
and I'm
you had
like,
so many
"Yeah."
options.
I know.
I'm so glad that this clusterfuck happened.
That's funny.
Oh
don't."
god.
Hey, we
God
tried to
damn,
work all
that's so
together.
funny. Okay, so we found the loophole in using command as a suggestion spell is that 6 seconds later it stops working as you guys get inside the gate, and he goes, "Wait a minute!"
It's very situational. Okay,
Yeah.
very
and
situational.
then the 3 of you turn around and Brahm just goes, "Bye!" Bring, and the 3 of you disappear. And I think, even though it's only 9:40, I don't see how
I
we
think
can't
that's a
possibly
good-
make that an end of the session.
That's a good ending. I like that. Coming back
damn
to you
it.
like, you guys are now invisible. What are you gonna do now?
Oh, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, Alar just sees this happen.
You know,
This-
fuck.
Look,
This
we were
man-
trying to save slots, but so I didn't use
Yeah.
invisibility earlier. But
Hey,
I
no,
wasn't
that's
gonna,
Yeah, no, I-
wasn't gonna mess with that.
That's
Yeah,
perfect.
I didn't think of it. And, at best, it would have
Oh
been
my
10
God.
minutes, which can be a very bad eternity.
This is why plan nothing and just go for it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
I had no
goodness.
plan. That plan slightly worked, and then and it went south, and I had no plan B, and I just went with the first thing that came into my head. Nope, not.
No, you don't.
Oh,
that
goodness.
was
All right, well, hey, thank you to our
I have
sponsors,
fun.
Little Dragon Corporate Corporate Cast and Games. Thank you to you guys, my players, as always, for D&Ding with me. Thank you guys who were watching with us at home. I saw some people in chat a little bit tonight. I appreciate it. Always
We
fun to
appreciate
people.
you.
We appreciate
You.
I got a partially invisible arm. Anyway, that's our show for tonight. We will be back next week for the next installment of our episode. Hopefully, with our full contingent of people.
Yeah, holy
and
Yeah,
bitch ass
Jason
Jason will
can
be
ju-
back.
Come
yeah,
back.
hopefully Jason will stop doing things like going on vacation and being a productive
Being an
member
adult.
of his local government, like
Yeah.
a friggin' dipshit.
We love you, Jason.
Jason, we miss you. I feel like Jason would have remembered to put Oz in the bag of holding,
Look.
and I'm really mad at her.
Yeah, he definitely
The
would
shena-
have.
You say, look, yeah, the shenanigans that just happened now
Are worth it.
would have only been exponentially worse if Jason was involved.
I would not go.
Yeah, he
Oh,
would have chosen
goodness.
war crimes
Oh.
because that's his first, second, and 15th choice.
He would have shillelied that man in the face
Immediately.
before I could do anything else.
DM Camacho says, I was appreciated. That's right, you were. You didn't have a choice.
Forced appreciation,
Yes, we appreciate you. There is,
or else.
but there is no
Yes,
other
being
option.
appreciated was not optional in this scenario.
No.
Thank you for joining us. We will be here next week at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for more Dungeons and or Dragonsing. Thank you for joining us, and goodbye.